Oh, the P320. So when I started doing this uh, YouTube stuff, I didn't really know about the controversies surrounding the SIG P320. Um, in 2017, SIG was awarded the contract for the military. That's all the military. That's Army, Marines, Navy, so on and so forth. Um, so they had a lot of pistols that they would have to field our military force. Now, I heard, and I don't know if this is correct, but I heard that in order for a gun company to be awarded the contract, it had to be a modular pistol. Um, which I don't know why a damn pistol has to be modular. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. Most of the damn people shooting a damn pistol can't even shoot it right, to include the military. Trust me, I know. Uh, Most of the military can't hit the broadside of a barn with a damn pistol, nor should they actually have it on their hip, to tell you the truth. So I don't even know why a pistol would have to be modular to be funded to the military forces. Okay? Um, but whatever. That was one of the criteria back in 2017 for one of the gun companies um, to get the contract awarded. Anyway, so SIG, Glock, and I think a bunch of different other companies put in their pistols, and SIG put in the P320, which, you know, the military version is either the M17 or M18 now, okay? But it's essentially the same damn gun, just the M17 and M18 have an external safety. Um, yeah, Joseph, I get you, man. I get you. But the thing about it is, like, they got this award, this contract, and even before the contract was awarded, I think there was some controversy. So pre 2017, I think there were some controversies behind the P320 with the drop safe kind of thing. Okay, so after this 2017 contract was awarded, I think I think they outran their headlights. I mean, this is my assumption. It's completely me throwing shit out there in the wind. I don't know this to be a fact, but if they had to not only award, or excuse me, if they not only had to make pistols, obviously, for the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, etc., okay, plus the police forces out there that are using the 320, plus making the parts to repair the 320s. You understand how resource intensive that is, just to do all that. Okay, the Army has just under 500,000 personnel in active duty. So you can imagine what that would, how resource intensive that would be to make the parts, to fund them, to send them, so on and so forth. So I think, this is my assumption again, I think that SIG outran their headlights and they started cutting corners to make parts or to get parts made in other places, maybe using different materials or whatever the case may be, just so they could field the pistol. All right. Now, if you watch my opinion before on this, I do believe it is possible for a single action striker fire pistol or even just a single action hammer fired pistol to fire arbitrarily without pulling the trigger. Okay, there has to be some kind of extenuating circumstance though for that to happen, like the sear, where the sear connects with either the striker or the hammer, that has to be worn down. Okay, and then in the case of SIG, their safety mechanism that's going to catch that's internal. Now 100% it could fire, let's say, arbitrarily. And before I started doing the YouTube stuff and social media stuff, looking into this, I thought that modern firearms today, they didn't have the likelihood that they would arbitrarily fire, for example. And I would tell people that. Let's take the Glock, for example. The Glock is a double action striker fired pistol. Glock calls it Glock action, but it's a double action pistol. And when you look at the definition of double action versus single action, there's zero chance, in my opinion, there's zero chance that the Glock can fire arbitrarily because of that double action feature within the slide of the gun, right? Now you look at SIG, it's a single action striker fire, which means that the striker is under spring tension, much like a canic. The striker is under spring tension for most of the canics, not all of them. I think the DA is a double action, but anyway, but it has a similar design as the Glock, right? Which and SIG has the drop safe in a Glock and in some other firearms. When you pull the trigger, it pushes a plunger up, creating a space or a hole for the striker to go through. That's not the case with the SIG. More importantly, and probably this is where I'm really baffled, is the way SIG is handling this debacle. Because they come out and they blanket statement, basically, there's nothing wrong with the pistol. There's no way that it could ever fire by itself, period, end of story, right? I'm a possibility, okay? Not to mention, they blanket statement guys and gals that are reporting on the SIG, and basically they just put their thumb on them and try to silence them. Okay. I don't like the way they handled that. I don't like the way that they say, well, you can send your SIGs in. There's nothing wrong with them, but you can send your SIGs in to get this upgrade or whatever for free. Well, why don't they just recall them? Just like you would do a vehicle, right? A Toyota, Ford, Chevy, so on and so forth. They all had recalls on their vehicle for one point or another. And so the same thing would be true if SIG just recalled the pistols and actually found the problem and tried to fix it, at least attempted to fix it. That would have been better for me when it comes to the company of SIG. That would have been better for me anyway. And I'm just a nobody, right? I have no influence when it comes to, what gun companies do or whatever. Now, honestly, I like the SIG P320. I think it shoots great. I love shooting it. But I have to admit, when I go to holster that damn thing, I'm always aware, right? But like I'm duly aware now when I'm using the SIG. And so all this controversy around the SIG, whether it's true or not, is still making me think twice when I go to holster. In fact, my holster that I'm using, I have the barrel kicked back a little bit, and usually I don't do that. Usually my barrel's straight up and down when I got it in the holster, but now I have it kicked back a little bit. In the event something were to happen, at least it's going to miss my foot, right? So, if you're going to buy a SIG, you should 100% just be aware of this controversy at a minimum. For the sake of any SIG owner that's out there, I hope this is not true. I hope that that SIG comes out on top and all their pistols are safe, because I would hate for anyone else to get injured. But there's been so many injuries, and there's now has been a death in the military, the Air Force, that, man, it would be, if SIG comes out on top, I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised. And you gave a tip? Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sorry I can't really read right now, but I could not. I don't think that SIG's going to come out on top. And it's unfortunate for them, and it's unfortunate for SIG owners. It's unfortunate all around, because I do believe that the pistol shoots great, and I enjoy shooting it. I enjoy magazine changes. I enjoy all that stuff with the SIG. I have this second thought whenever I go to holster it, right? So, and also when I go to draw it. Anyway, that's my thought on the SIG P320 debacle. And if you get one, man, just be very diligent with it. That's it. That's all I got. So, if you guys want anything else, I got my affiliate link below for a bunch of stuff, but mainly AOR, attorneys on retainer. If you're looking for coverage, for self-defense coverage, grab that. Use my affiliate link. Use the code, so on and so forth. You can also find the link in my profile. So you guys go check that out, and we'll talk to you later. Okay.